A horrifying exploration in an abandoned hospital. Chap 1. On a damp summer night, a mischievous group of childhood friends decided to explore the town's long-abandoned hospital. Undeterred by the locals' warnings of ghostly tales, they were even more excited by the prospect. With a sense of challenge and thrill, they entered the hospital, unaware that they were about to experience a night filled with the dark secrets of the place. The abandoned hospital loomed in the darkness, its half-open doors seemingly inviting them in with an eerie welcome. Dim light filtered through shattered windows, casting ominous shadows on the debris-littered floors. The air was thick with the stench of chemicals and blood, making it feel as if time had stopped there. The creaking of unstable doors and distant, eerie moans filled the atmosphere with an unsettling tension. The chilling air seemed to emanate not from the temperature but from the gruesome secrets hidden within. The group of children from elementary school was not only driven by curiosity, but also by a desire to create thrilling and unique experiences that would earn them admiration from their peers. They wanted to be seen as brave and daring, hoping their adventure would become a hot topic of conversation in their community. Their curiosity and eagerness for recognition blinded them to the locals' warnings. As they stepped into the hospital, they felt a mix of excitement and anticipation, ready to face any challenge. They hoped the dramatic games of hide and seek and the creepy stories they would encounter would make them famous and admired. However, they didn't expect the adventure to turn into a terrifying nightmare, confronting them with dark secrets and unforeseen dangers. As soon as they stepped into the hospital's grand hall, a sense of unease began to spread. The flickering light from a high-hanging bulb seemed to fight against the darkness, casting cold shadows on the cracked walls. Strange noises from hidden corners made their hearts race, but the group pressed on. They soon realized this hospital was no ordinary abandoned place. The stench of chemicals and blood seeped into every corner, and traces of violence were still evident. They couldn't believe what they were seeing, but turning back was not an option. They had boasted to their schoolmates about playing hide and seek in the abandoned hospital, and failure to follow through would result in ridicule. "This is scary," Tran said, her voice trembling. "It's okay. There's no such thing as ghosts," Thang reassured. "Do you remember what we told our classmates? If we don't do this, they'll laugh at us." The group nodded in agreement with Thang's words. Just then, Than spoke up. "Let's start playing. Rock, paper, scissors to see who will be the seeker and who will hide." They pushed their unease aside and gathered to play rock, paper, scissors. In the end, Than was chosen as the seeker while the others would hide. As the children began their game of hide and seek, strange events started to unfold. The bright light suddenly went out, leaving them in complete darkness. Though a bit shaken, they began scattering to hide when Than's countdown reached 100. Tran and Lin hid in the surgical room. The operating table was stained with dried blood, and old medical instruments were scattered around. Lin explored the instruments while Tran, scared, hid under the bed. Suddenly, the room's light flickered on. When Tran crawled out and turned around, the light revealed silhouettes of patients in agony on the wall. Their distorted faces and haunting moans terrified her. She stood frozen in fear as Lin ran to pull her out of the room. But just then, the door slammed shut, trapping them in a nightmare with no escape. Tuan and Nam hid in a storage room for medical equipment. In the dark, the dim flashlight revealed eerie shadows of hospital beds and strange devices. There, the boys were horrified to discover that the once empty experiment boxes now contained frozen bodies. When the flashlight's beam fell on them, the blurry shapes of the corpses began to move, their lifeless eyes staring directly at the boys, who screamed and ran, feeling trapped in a horror scene with no escape from the haunted souls. Meanwhile, a chilling laugh echoed from hidden corners of the hospital, reverberating down the hallways, sounding terrifying and ghostly. The air reeked of chemicals and old blood, adding to the macabre and gloomy atmosphere. The cracked walls and broken tiles contributed to the sense of mystery and fear. Van and Tone hid in the hospital's recovery room, where they were shocked by the horrifying scene before them. Ghostly silhouettes of patients who had suffered great pain and bloodshed floated in the darkness. In the recovery room's shadows, the shapes of these spirits twisted and groaned, their cold eyes and chilling sounds shaking the air. Each step echoed on the empty floor. Each moan was an endless curse. Black smoke seeped through every crack, making the air tense and haunting. Each whisper, each moan from the shadows felt like a threat, making the atmosphere heavy and oppressive. The children were trapped in a nightmare world where reality and illusion blurred, pushing them into the depths of terror. Their screams echoed throughout the hospital,